Hello my beautiful people, welcome back to I Run Things, where we talk all about running, strength, endurance, both living and doing hard things after 50. Today we're digging deep into one of the biggest questions runners ask and also argue about when it comes to training. How long should the long run be? Whether you're training for a 5K, a half marathon, a full, or even an ultra, the long run is the cornerstone of endurance training. But how far should you go? How fast should you run? How do you avoid overtraining or injury? That's what we're diving into, backed by science, real-world experience, and yes, a little tough love. So lace up, pour a coffee, and let's get into it. Alright, so let's start with the basics. Why is the long run so important? Well, whether you're aiming to run your first half marathon or smash a new PR in your 10th full, the long run serves several essential functions. Number one, it builds aerobic endurance. This is your body's ability to stay in motion over time, burning fat efficiently and using oxygen to fuel your muscles. The long run also teaches mental resilience. Running for hours isn't just physical, or it is physical, but not only. It's training your mind to stay focused when everything in your body says, stop. Long run teaches your body how to burn fuel better. This is especially important when you're running marathons or longer distance. The long run also helps adapt to gear, to your shoes, to your fueling strategies. No one wants to figure out their hydration pack leaks or their socks cause blisters on race day. A long run is not just a nice to have thing. It's the essential ingredient in almost every long distance running plan. But, and it is a big but, the magic is in the dose. Go too far too soon and you'll end up injured, burnt out, or on your couch for 2 weeks, icing your Achilles and doom scrolling Strava. So let's break it down. Let's get specific here. How long should the long run be depending on your race goal? If you're training for a 5K or a 10K, you might think the long run isn't important, but you'd be wrong. Your long run should be 60 to 90 minutes, even if your goal race is just 3.1 miles. Why? Because building aerobic capacity helps with everything, even shorter races. You don't need to run 10 miles, but doing 6 to 8 miles at an easy pace once a week can be a game changer. If you're training for a half marathon, the sweet spot for long runs here is 10 to 13 miles. Some training plans cap it at 10, but going the full 13 in training at least once can give you a huge psychological boost on race day. If you're a beginner, start around 5 to 6 miles and build up slowly using the 10% rule. If you're more experienced, feel free to throw in back-to-back runs or steady-state long runs every few weeks. Now, if you're training for a full marathon, here's where it gets spicy. Most marathon training plans top around 20 to 22 miles, with a few recommending 24. But do you need to hit 20 to finish a marathon? Technically, no. But practically, yes, unless you want the last 10K to feel like a death march. If you're using run-walk intervals, like I do for my marathons, you might be able to get away with 18-mile long runs as long as your overall time on feet matches marathon expectations. Now the big kahuna, if you're training for an ultra, this is 50K, 50 miles, 100K, etc. Long runs are a different beast. It's less about the mileage in just the one single run and more about time on feet and back-to-back efforts. For 50K, most plans go up to 20 to 26 miles. For a 50-miler, your longest single run might be 25 to 30 miles, but paired with a 15-20 miler the day before or the day after. And for 100 milers, your long run is often a 50K training race. The key here is sustainability. Don't blow yourself up in one heroic run. So now let's zoom out. There's no one-size-fits-all formula, and here's why. Your running history is important. Someone with 10 years of experience and multiple marathons under their belt can safely handle longer runs than someone in their first year of running. Your age matters as well. Recovery takes longer after 50. I can attest. So, while your cardiovascular fitness might be fine, your joints, tendons, and recovery systems might prefer a slightly more conservative approach. Another very important thing is how do you handle your weekly mileage? A good rule of thumb, your long run shouldn't be more than 30 to 35% of your weekly total mileage. If you're running 30 miles a week, your long run should be around 9 to 11 miles. Also important here, your injury history. Recovering from plantar fasciitis or a stretch fracture? Now it's not the time to push the long run. Always prioritize consistency over hero workouts. Also, we should talk about mental state. If you're dreading your long run every week, you might be doing too much. Long runs should feel challenging, yes, but not punishing. If they're breaking your spirit, it's time to dial it back. All right, you know why the long run matters and how far to go depending on your race. But how do you build up to that distance without breaking down? Enter the 10% rule. It's a classic for a reason. Increasing your long run by no more than 10% each week gives your body a chance to adapt and rebuild. For example, week 1, 6 miles, week 2, 6.5 miles, week 3, 7 miles, week 4, cut back week, drop back to 5 miles, week 5, 7.5 miles, and so on and so forth. Those cutback weeks are crucial. They allow your muscles, joints, tendons, and honestly, your brain as well, to recover. Think of them like pressing save on your training progress. Also worth noting, every 3rd or 4th week should be a cutback week. Not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of wisdom. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna talk about walk breaks. Don't forget them, especially if you're over 50, new to distance, or training in heat. Using a run walk strategy can help you go further with less fatigue and injury risk. Plus, it mimics fueling and hydration breaks. Remember, you don't need to build your long run by distance alone. If you're focusing on time-based training, increase time on feet instead. Say 10 minutes more each week, and then worry less about the pace. Let's talk about how you should run your long runs, not just how far. There's a saying in marathon training, make your hard days hard and your easy days easy. Your long run, it's not supposed to be a hard day. Long runs should be done at an easy conversational pace, about 1 to 2 minutes slower than your goal race pace. If you're gasping or pushing effort to stay on pace, you're going too hard. Zone 2 is the goal. That's the fat burning, aerobic building, chat with a friend zone. Yes, even if that means you're running slower than you're used to. Try the talk test. If you can say a full sentence without needing to gasp for air, you're in the right zone. Here's a tip for run walkers. This works beautifully for you too. The scheduled walk breaks naturally keep your heart rate in that aerobic zone. Now, there are exceptions to these rules, like with anything else in life. If you're doing a fast finish long run where the final miles are run close to race pace, that would be an exception. Or if you're doing a progression run gradually picking up at speed, that would be another exception. Or a third exception if you're training for a specific time on feet goal, like a hilly ultra. But for 80% of your long runs, slow is the secret weapon. Okay, now let's talk fuel. I love a conversation about fuel. You can't build a house on an empty stomach, and you sure as heck can't build endurance if you're running on fumes. Here's what science and experience say. Anything over 60 to 75 minutes, you need fuel. Start fueling early and regularly, and for most runners, that means take in 30 to 60 grams of carbs per hour. That's usually 1 gel every 30 to 45 minutes, or small sips of your sports drink of choice. Hydrate based on sweat rate. A good ballpark, drink 4 to 8 ounces of fluid every 20 minutes. Also, add electrolytes on hot days or if you're a salty sweater. Now let's talk about fuel options. Gels, chews, sports drinks, honey packets, homemade date balls. These are actually my favorite. Pretzels, mashed potatoes. These are ultra runners' favorites. They get pretty fancy. But also very important here is to practice your fueling in training. Not just the what, but also the when. If you're running a full marathon, don't wait until September to test your fueling. Use every long run as a dress rehearsal. Trust me, your stomach will thank you. You crashed your long run! Yay! Now, what to do next really matters. You should always do a cool down walk. 5 to 10 minutes of walking post-run will help transition your body from effort to recovery mode. You also should eat within 30 to 60 minutes. Ideally, a mix of carbs and protein. Chocolate milk, protein smoothies, or a real meal. Whatever works better for you and your stomach. I tend to eat a real meal. What about hydration to replace your electrolytes? Water is great, but after 2+ hours of running, you likely need also sodium, potassium, and magnesium. And my favorite thing to do, rest. That night, try to get more sleep than usual. Your body recovers and rebuilds during sleep, not while doom scrolling your race photos. The next day, try some active recovery, like walking, stretching, foam rolling, or yoga can help reduce stiffness and improve blood flow. Please don't race your recovery. One great long run doesn't mean you should immediately jump into another hard workout. Let's go over a few pitfalls to watch for because long runs can be powerful and they can also be painful. Going too far too soon. This is sin number 1. Don't let Strava flexing push you into running 15 miles on a whim. Build gradually. Don't run too fast. You don't need to win your long run. Slower is better for building endurance without burnout. Don't skip fueling. Fueling is a skill. Practice it regularly and don't wait for race day to try that spicy new gel. Don't ignore pain. Soreness is okay, short pain is not. Listen to your body, especially as you build up mileage. The long run isn't complete until you've eaten, hydrated, and rested. If you're training hard but skipping recovery, you're just digging a deeper hole. Okay, now let me tell you a little bit about my own journey with long runs. When I first started running in my 40s, the idea of running more than an hour felt impossible. I remember finishing my first 7-mile run and thinking, I could never run a marathon. Fast forward a year later, and I have now trained for everything for 5Ks to full marathons. And you know what stayed consistent? The long run was always where I learned the most about pacing, about patience, about what my body could do, and how much I needed to respect it. I've bunked, I've cried, I've forgotten fuel, I've gotten sunburned, I've taken wrong turns, I've worn the wrong socks, the wrong shoes, the wrong shorts. But I've also found peace out there, pride, joy, and a heck of a lot of strength I didn't know I had. So now let's recap everything you need to remember about long runs. Your long run builds endurance, resilience, and confidence. Distance depends on your race goal, but more isn't always better. Build gradually using the 10% rule and cut back weeks. Pace your long runs easy, that's where the magic happens. Fuel early, hydrate often, and train your gut. Recovery starts as soon as your run ends, so prioritize it. Avoid common mistakes like overtraining or ignoring pain. And most importantly, enjoy the process. Your long runs tell a story, make it a good one. Okay guys, if this helped, please give it a thumbs up. It really supports the channel. Subscribe for more running tips, midnight training insights, and real talk from the road. Want a printable long run checklist, fueling guides, training templates? Grab those over on my Substack. The link in the description. I also drop weekly bonus content and behind the scenes stories over there on Substack if you want to support this journey even more. And hey, drop a comment below and let me know, how long is your long run right now? Thanks for watching, and remember, I'm Susie and this is I Run Things. I'll see you on the next one. Bing!